What's going on, guys? Recon here, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video I will be reviewing the iPhone 11, and I will be answering if you should buy the iPhone 11 in 2024. Is it worth it in 2024? I will be giving you guys the good and the bad about this phone, and overall just to see if it's worth the money in 2024. So let's get into the video. So guys, starting off with the iPhone, the build quality, it has an all aluminum frame all around it, and it does have a glass back, which as y'all can see on the camera, it does attract fingerprints a lot. Of course, there was one iPhone 11 that came with the matte version, the matte back version, which is of course the iPhone 11 Pro and the Pro Max. Of course, I don't have that. I don't have that in hand right now, but still, even though it is the glass back, most of the iPhones up to, if I'm not mistaken, the iPhone 14, the regular versions, they've all came with the glass back. Of course, we eventually got used to it, and honestly, on the hand, it feels really good. Of course, I still recommend wearing a case, one to protect it. Of course, as y'all can see, there's a lot of wear and tear on the aluminum frame. Of course, you're going to see this on any phone that it's around like 5 years, has been used for like 5 years, which this one has been used for 5 years. um and of course, this one did came at 4G. It doesn't have 5G, because at the time the 5G still wasn't available. But another thing about this phone is that it does charge via lightning cable. Of course, still no USB-C. We didn't get USB-C on iPhones until the iPhone 15, which is crazy in my opinion. But finally, Apple at least decided to hop on the train for the USB-C charging. Also, this one does come with a 6.1-inch display with a resolution of 1792 by 828. It's not really that good of a resolution compared to like the Pro ones or like the newer iPhones, but it's still a really good phone overall. The feel to it is really good. This one does come with the Bionic A13 chip, which in my opinion is still such a good chip, especially in 2024. And for the amount you're going to be paying for this phone on the secondhand market, you could probably get it off, if I'm not mistaken, PlugTag. You can get it off PlugTag with a better battery. Just overall better to how I have it right now, personally, which I will be talking about the flaws of this. You can definitely still get it for a little bit more of a cleaner version. Buying it off PlugTag, you'll see less wear and tear. Of course, this one just got its daily usage, was used every day, dropped normal like a normal person would. But overall, the performance and everything of this phone is still really good. It still runs smoothly, and the best part of it is that it still updates to the latest iOS 18, as y'all can see here. Hold on, let me put the power. It still updates to the latest iOS 18. If I'm not mistaken, I think it has one. No, I think it has like two years left of major updates. Then it would just get security patches. Of course, you see this with, I think you see this with a lot of phones, but I think the phone that doesn't support iOS 18 anymore is the iPhone X, which is, you know, it's sad, but of course you got to start upgrading your phones right now. But some of us don't have the money to upgrade to like a newer phone, like let's say to like an S24 Ultra or a Pixel 9 Pro XL, or maybe to like the newest iPhone 16. But you're looking to buy an iPhone for a cheaper price that will still give you that same experience as the newer iPhones and still updates to the latest iOS. And I think this one does it for sure. And I will be touching into why it's still a good phone, especially in 2024 in a bit. But like I said, this phone is still such a good feeling on the hand. Like I said, I do recommend having a case on. You don't want to drop it and cause more wear and tear than it already has on it. So guys, moving on to the gripes of this phone. Now I will mention this before anything. It's that, hold on. And it's that this phone, the gripes that I will be mentioning with this phone have been personal usage gripes. Like, is gripes that I have personally with this specific iPhone 11. I'm not gonna say about the other iPhone 11s because they're probably gonna be a little bit different than this one. But starting off with gripe number one, it is the battery life. I don't know if y'all were able to see on the beginning of the video. It was at 59%, or no, not 59, 49 to 50%, and now look at it. It's at 41%. It's really, really bad. And I know you're looking at the screen right now saying, "Damn, maximum capacity of 73%." Yes, That's correct. Maximum capacity of 73%, which is why I have a big gripe with the battery life on this phone. It doesn't last to you the whole day anymore. It will probably give you like around three hours of screen on time, which is still really bad. But it doesn't justify for the other iPhone 11s out there. If you go to like Plug Tech, or if you go to Back Market, or any of those websites where you can buy used phones, which I would recommend, use Plug Tech over the other ones, especially even over Back Market. And I'm not trying to handle Back Market, but I've definitely seen a little bit of sketchy stuff going on with Back Market. But the one thing I will say is that if you are looking to buy an iPhone 11, buy it off Plug Tech, because they do clean out the phones. You'll definitely get better quality than this. As you can see, a lot of wear and tear on the iPhone. And the best part of it, the maximum capacity for the battery on the iPhone 11s they ship out is at least 80%, which is a go. It's a green for me. You should definitely get it off Plug Tech if you're going to buy an iPhone 11. Now, another big gripe about this iPhone 11 is that it doesn't have MagSafe. It is not MagSafe compatible because it wasn't introduced on the iPhone 11 series. Even if you buy a case with MagSafe for the iPhone 11, of course, it probably don't exist because at the time it didn't exist. It's not gonna be able to work. So if you're looking for a phone, a cheap iPhone that is still a little bit modernized and has MagSafe compatibility, I would say the iPhone 12, because that's when we were introduced to MagSafe with the iPhone 12 lineup. Now, another thing I will say about this iPhone is that it has 60 hertz. Of course, it's something that we still see ongoing with the iPhone series. I'm not talking about the Pro versions, like the Pro and the Pro Max. I'm talking about like the regular like this, even the newer 16, the 16 and the 16 Plus. They all still have 60 hertz. And as y'all can see, this is a cheap phone from Motorola, which you can buy, if I'm not mistaken, the cheapest for $80. Look at it. It has 120 hertz, and this is 60 hertz. I'm pretty sure it is noticeable on the camera, but one thing I will say, 60 hertz here and 60 hertz here is totally different, and that's due to the iOS software. It's just something that I will say, it's like, okay, I guess it's a little bit passable from Apple, because they do make their software really smooth, which just make the 60 hertz okay. It doesn't make it like if you compare the 60 hertz to like a cheap Android, right now I have it on 120 hertz, but if you compare 60 hertz on this phone to like the iPhone, you will definitely see this phone be a little bit more laggy than the iPhone when you come to switch, when you come to open and just scroll over through social media and stuff like that. You will definitely notice the big difference of the 60 hertz on an Android and the 60 hertz on an iPhone, which is, I really do wish Apple could just put at least 90 hertz on their normal versions of their phone. Like if the 16 would have, the 16 and the 16 Plus would have 90 hertz, I would have been hyped for that. But I guess it's just passable. You can give it a pass with the 60 hertz on iOS. And another good thing about the iPhone 11 is, well, not a good thing. I mean, it's okay. It is a good thing because it does still update to the latest software, which is iOS 18. As y'all can see, I did have to update for this video just so y'all can see how iOS 18 is on the iPhone 11. It is a pretty smooth experience, which is a good thing. It does come with the A13 Bionic chip, which is actually pretty good, a pretty good chip in my opinion. You're still able to do your daily tasks with this, update to the latest iOS, and still do gaming on it. But besides that, let's move on to the good things now. So guys, opening here the camera app, I will say that the camera for the iPhone 11 is still a pretty good camera. It is still good for point and shoot. It does have two lenses, which is, as y'all can see, the main lens and then the ultra wide lens. They are at 12 megapixels. They're not a higher megapixel count like the newer iPhones, as we can see, 48 megapixels. But overall, the cameras are still good in 2024. It still has good quality, as y'all can see there. It still has good quality on the camera, 12 megapixels, and as we all know, iPhone cameras are just really good. Now, if you compare it to like a top-end Android camera, of course, it's just a different story right there. I'm probably gonna start off some stuff on with the Android versus iPhone side, but we're gonna keep it neutral. The iPhone cameras are actually really good. Oh, especially when you record, the video quality is still really good. You are able to record 1080p with 30 frames per second, or you're able to record 4K 30 frames per second, or 4K 60 frames per second. It doesn't have cinematic mode. It does have slow mode, time lapse, of course the video, photo, portrait, and panorama. You know, honestly, who uses the cinematic mode? We're not going to use cinematic mode. We're not going to record stuff like that. So the cameras are still good. So if you want to buy a cheap iPhone with good camera quality, iPhone 11 is still a pass for me. It's still a go with the cameras. Now another good thing about this phone that I like a lot is that it feels modern. It still feels modern in the hand. Like, I wouldn't be ashamed of walking down the street or walking at school or anywhere having the iPhone out in my hand, compared to like walking around the streets or at school or anywhere walking with an iPhone 7 or an 8. You're definitely gonna feel a little bit like, I maybe have to update my phone. I gotta get a new phone. But this iPhone is still modern to this day. Like compared to an iPhone X or an XS, XS Max, or even the XR view, they're okay. The iPhone 11 is still a pass for me. Now, this iPhone, if I'm not mistaken, it still has 2 more years of major updates. So if you're looking for an iPhone, cheap iPhone for like maybe your kids or maybe for yourself, if you're looking for an iPhone like that you want to be secure, that you'll still be able to get major updates at least for like 1 more year, 2 years, then the iPhone 11 is still a go. But if you want more of a secure one, I would recommend like a 12 or a 13, because they're a little bit more recent than the iPhone 12. So you will be getting more iOS updates with those other iPhones compared to the iPhone 11. But the iPhone 11 is still a pass for me. It's still a go. Now, guys, the question: should you buy the iPhone 11 in 2024? And in my opinion, yes, you should definitely buy the iPhone 11 in 2024 if you have an older iPhone, older than the X, I would say, or if you have a cheap Android, or if you're gonna give it to someone for Christmas, you know that they have a cheap Android and you want to give them the iPhone experience, I would definitely recommend the iPhone 11. Or if you want to give, probably your little brother their first ever iPhone, or your son, or whatever the case may be, someone who hasn't had that iPhone experience, the iPhone 11 will still deliver that iPhone experience, for many reasons. One is we can see the camera quality is still really good, especially in 2024. Great for point and shoot. It still updates to the latest iOS, and will still update to the latest iOS for like 2 more years, if I'm not mistaken. 1 or 2 more years, it will still be able to update to the latest iOS. And another thing I will say is that it definitely still feels modern on the hand. It still feels so good holding the iPhone 11, of course, except that part with the fingerprint. I don't know why we had to do that. But overall, this iPhone is still worth in 2024. You should definitely go ahead and buy it if you're looking to save a little bit of money and still get that Apple experience. So guys, this is the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching the videos. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let's try to reach 100 subs before the end of the year. And if you haven't turned on post notifications, go ahead and turn post notifications, because I upload twice a week. So guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I will see you guys later. Peace.